Hi there. So I had a few people request that I make a little how-to video on how to do a shirt with the infusible ink markers with the Cricut drawing for you. And so what I did, I'm a newbie, so I don't really fully have my brain around all the capabilities of the Cricut, but I knew that cutting vinyl and layering was a little bit overwhelming for me. So I went ahead and bought a package of the infusible ink markers, and I got the Cricut blank shirt to do this project. And so what I want to do now is I want to put a design on the sleeve. And so I wanted to show you how I did that. So I got this file from the group, a Cricut group that I love. And so as it's an SVG, so it comes, and as you'll see here, it's just a basic cut right now. And so all you have to do is change it to draw. Actually, you can't select draw, so you select pen here. And then it's going to change the file slightly. It's only going to draw the outline. And so what I did with this shirt is I had it do the same thing. It drew the outline, and then I used the markers once I unloaded the paper material, and I colored in everything that needed to be filled in. And you can kind of see my coloring brush strokes like in here, but most of the black and everything has no marker lines or anything like that. You can sort of see it here at the bluish purple, but anyway, I like how it turned out. So this is how I did it. So I changed that to pen, then you select the color selection, and so it automatically puts that it's a fine point marker. Like I said, I got these markers. They, as you'll notice, are not the fine point markers. The reason I got the non-fine point markers is because I knew I was going to be using them to color in. So these ones are 1.0, as you can see right there. I don't know if it'll focus very good, but anyway. And so you select that up here, marker, 1 millimeter. And then there's the ink types, so you can say what color you want it. Black. Okay, and so it makes the lines a little fatter because the marker is going to be fatter, and it changes the lines to what colors you're going to select. So I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to change these words to color, and then I'm going to resize it for my sleeve. Okay, so here it is, resized and changing the colors. And so once you have it exactly how you like, as you can see when you resize it, like it's probably not going to have a lot of white space with how small I've made it. Most of it is going to be black because the marker tips are so fat. But as you resize it and get it how you want it, you'll see how the design is going to change with the pens. So now I'm going to click Make It. And hopefully I did it all right and it's in one mat. Sometimes I have to go back and readjust it. And so here you do mirror it, because when you put your paper down onto your blank, you do have to put it face down. And then you just use regular copy paper for infusible inks, for these infusible inks at least. And so once I've got it set up the way that it needs to be, then I'm going to get my mat prepared and continue. Alrighty, so I'm ready to go. Let the Cricut connect. I have my dial set to paper because we're printing on inkjet paper. It says that it tells you what pens you need to have and in what order, so I have to start with red, and then it's going to go to black and blue. And so you get your pens out and get them ready. This is the red I use. If I can get it out. One hand. Okay. Yeah. So you just load your pen in until it clicks. Load your materials in. It's going to draw the outline for me. You'll see how it looks being so small. Did not load. There it goes. Then it will tell you that it's going to go, just like when you do vinyl. Tell it to go. And now it's drawing for me. Now it's telling me to switch pens to black. Probably should have pulled all these colors out before I started recording. I'm not a professional video maker, so there's that. Okay, and then you just hit your button again. It's looking okay. I thought there was going to be a lot less white space. Because of how small my design is. So I love doing this because I am not artistic. I'm terrible at drawing. I can color inside lines. So this is great for me because it will draw everything on for me, and then all I have to do is fill in the white space, and then it can still turn out really nice and professional. So we're about 48%, so I'm going to pause the video till we get to the next step. Now it's drawing on the blue. And it's done. So here's what we've got. And so when I did the slice to change the colors on my wording, you'll see that there's a little line here on the G for magic, which is kind of ugly, but it doesn't matter because I'm just going to color it in. So next step is to just use your markers to fill in all the spots that you want filled in. I will say that all the YouTube videos that I watched about infusible ink caution you to not have your hands touching the ink. The heat from your hands, the oils can mess up the ink. And so I always used you can use another mat to while you're coloring so your hand isn't directly on the project, or you can use another sheet of paper, but just try to keep your hands off of the ink as much as possible while you color it. I'm going to pause this so I can fill it in. Okay, so I am no Cricut expert, so I might be doing this sleeve thing totally wrong, but I put a washcloth inside my sleeve, and then to kind of get it off the seam of the armpit, and then I put cardstock underneath my fabric like you're supposed to do. You have to have cardstock between your section that you're going to press and your ink. And then right now I'm just doing my regular get the wrinkles out pressing. So I just put my paper and my Teflon sheet down, and I'm just going to try to remove the wrinkles real quick, and then we'll do the actual press. Keep your material that you've colored away from your heat press. It's very reactive to heat, and all the YouTube videos that I saw warned about that. They said that you don't want the ink on your hands, that you don't want it anywhere near your press because you might accidentally make a transfer that you didn't mean to. Okay, I think I'm going to do it one more time because I still see some wrinkles, and then I will show you how we press on the ink. Okay, so I let it cool down a little bit because I don't know if the ink will transfer while you're positioning it. if it's not cool, but anyway. So I like to fold my design in half so that I have an idea about where I want the center to be, so I can line up the line with the shoulder there. And they say that you're not supposed to do like the hems and this, so I'm gonna avoid this hem here because I don't know how it will turn out. Supposedly it's hard to get an even press when you've got like hems and layers, so that's where I want it. So now I put it face down, it's ready to go. I'm going to cover it with a sheet of paper because it's going to bleed through, and then I'm going to put my Teflon sheet on the top because I don't want it to get onto my press. And then, so I've already got it set. You go 385 for 40 seconds. Then you do a light press, and you have to make sure that you don't move it once you do that. So I'm going to get my hand just right. Okay, here we go. I'm going to set it down. Start, press. So now I'm letting it cool because I'm afraid and paranoid that if I accidentally move the work that it will smudge the ink. I don't know if there's any fact to that paranoia. Oh, there you go. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm letting it cool. So this is my cover sheet that was between my press and my Teflon paper, and it does show that it has bled through. So that's good. I think I'm supposed to use 2 sheets. So there's that. And then, moment of truth. There's that. So that has been pressed with the Cricut infusible ink markers. I love them. It opens up so many more possibilities for me, being not a artistic person. I wouldn't be able to hand draw half of this stuff on here, but to be able to have the Cricut trace it and then just to color it in and then transfer it on is nice. And I will add the disclaimer to say I've not jumped off the deep end and done like pressed vinyl yet. I do have a couple sheets of the infusible ink sheets. I have not tried cutting and applying with the Easy Press yet. The first thing I did with my Easy Press was this infusible ink because in my mind it just felt like it was going to be more successful for me and my particular style. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I might be able to answer them, but I'm sure other people can answer them too. So I'm not the expert. I'm just showing you what I did for my first attempt. And I really love how it turned out. I love how everything's so vibrant. Supposedly it lasts really long. You won't have peeling and cracking like vinyl. And it just looks like a more finished, like professional design in my opinion. So I'm in love. I hope you are too. Thanks for watching.